The deepest truths aren't always spoken aloud, they're sensed. Have you ever questioned why a man can hear "I love you" countless times and still drift away? It's because those words, as meaningful as they sound, aren't always the fire. Sometimes they're only the flicker. And right now, what we're stepping into, that's the blaze. Before we move further, hit that like button and subscribe. Not for me, but because I'm pouring everything into this. I'm not reading from a prompt. I'm speaking from the space within me that knows how profound this is. Beyond logic, past generic advice. This is for the part of you that's exhausted from overthinking, worn from guessing his thoughts, and ready, genuinely ready, to be seen while becoming unforgettable in his eyes. That's what we're cultivating here, and I need your heart to join me in it. So, imagine this. You enter a room. Same outfit, same smile, yet something's changed in the way you carry your energy. You're not glancing around hoping for his gaze. You're already commanding the space. You sit beside him, not like you're wishing he'll look your way, but like he won't be able to resist noticing your presence, even if he doesn't. That's not coincidence, that's intention. Because real attraction, it isn't about turning the most heads. Coincidence is cool. It's reality. Coincidence is cool. Because real attraction isn't about turning the most heads. It's about reaching the soul. And that doesn't stem from effort. It comes from embodying a presence he can't shake from his mind. Somewhere down the path, you were sold a gentle deception that men crave words, that saying "I love you" repeatedly would bind him in loyalty and bolt the door shut like an emotional vault. But let me tell you the truth. Men don't remain where they're instructed to. They remain where something moves them, where the air feels alive, where it's raw and rooted, where it's genuine. Because men don't just hear your voice, they experience your presence. They remember how your fingertips skimmed their arm like it held meaning. The sound of your laughter, carefree like the world paused. The way you walked away, not out of anger, but out of calm certainty in your value. A woman like that doesn't ask to be remembered. She already is. And don't twist this into performance. This isn't about impressing. It's about unlocking the version of you that moves with emotional depth. The woman who knows silence can be louder than declarations. The woman whose very being says more than any phrase. This isn't a list of instructions. It's a transformation. 12 ways to let a man feel truly loved. Not through hollow expressions, but through a presence that makes him yearn in the most beautiful way. So completely that the words "I love you" become a whisper compared to how your essence lingers within him. This is for women who already know their worth, but want to become unforgettable in every fiber. We're rewriting the rules that once told you to dim your light. Every outdated belief that whispered not to be too much. Because being too much, when it comes from truth, that's what becomes irresistible. You weren't born to be tame, you were born to be remembered. So let this soak in. Every phrase, every rhythm. This isn't filler. This is the shift. Emotional wisdom wrapped in soul. When this video ends, I don't just want you to grasp your power. I want you to embody it. If you're with me, say it aloud, post it in the comments, let it resonate within you. I am the gravity. That's right. Not the lure, not the test, gravity. Now, stay close. We're about to ignite this. Visualize this. You're at dinner with him. That cozy little restaurant you both adore. Dim lights, soft tunes, the kind of place where even the spoons feel like part of a love scene. He's across from you, hair a bit tousled from the day, wearing that shirt that never fails to stir something in you. He begins sharing a story, something clearly close to his heart. Your phone buzzes. You glance at it. Just a moment. A message. Nothing urgent. You look back up. He's still speaking. But something shifted. His tone hasn't changed. But the glow in his eyes, it softened. And deep inside you sense it. You've stepped out of the moment. Understand, life moves fast. Work, texts, deadlines, endless to-dos. You weren't trying to pull away. You weren't ignoring him. You were momentarily caught in the noise. But in that split second, something unspoken passed between you. He felt it. He may not voice it, but inside, he sensed he wasn't truly seen. And that's what no one tells you. Men won't always ask you to be fully engaged. They won't beg. They'll simply begin revealing fewer pieces of their vulnerability. Because real love, it doesn't thrive on grand speeches. It flourishes in quiet, intentional moments. And genuine attention, that's love in motion. It's not about gazing at him like he's putting on a show. It's about making him feel like he's the only presence in the room, even when you're surrounded by others. Maybe you're wondering, what if he doesn't respond when I'm fully present? What if I give him my focus and he's still lost in his screen? Listen carefully. When a woman leads with presence, she transforms the space. She becomes the atmosphere. There's no need to chase his gaze. You evolve into the pull that draws it. Because presence isn't just something you offer. It becomes part of who you are. And that kind of presence, it's magnetic. Not loud, not showy, just steady, just real. Here's what stays with a man. He might forget the text that read, "I love you," but he won't forget how your eyes lock with his like nothing else in the world mattered. That's what stays. So next time you sit beside him, leave your task list behind. Don't half scroll while he speaks. Arrive fully, with a grounded energy that whispers, "I'm here now, and I'm not elsewhere in thought." That's rare. That's what remains. Sit with him like your soul is tuned in. In a world addicted to distraction, a woman fully present becomes the exception. The kind of presence that makes a man stay, that invites his heart to unfold, that calls him to reveal more. And when we explore touch next, this isn't just about physicality. It's a language, a signal, a memory. So before we continue, type it below, say it aloud. I am the presence. Now imagine this. He walks in after a draining day, his shoulders sagging, his gaze worn, carrying the quiet weight that men often never speak of. You step toward him, smile gently, and embrace him. Not a distracted half hug, not a fleeting moment, a real, whole-bodied embrace. Full arms, full heart, a 7-second stillness where your breathing sinks. And in that sacred pause, something melts. His chest loosens, his guard drops, and without uttering a word, he knows, I'm here. You matter. We're still us. Touch isn't merely contact, it's recognition. Men may not say exactly what they need, but their bodies remember. Their hearts hold the imprint of your steady hands, the warmth of your chest against theirs, and the kind of touch that's patient, rooted, and intentional. It speaks louder than any sentence ever could. It says, I still choose you. You've felt the difference too, haven't you? A rushed kiss feels like a formality. A rushed but a slow, lingering touch. That shifts something inside. That remains. It doesn't just communicate, it serenades. It doesn't rush, it resonates. Touch that's hurried is static. Touch that's present, it's melody. So next time you pass him, don't breeze by. Let your hands say what words can't. Let him melt into your embrace. That's when his burden lifts, his heart leans closer, and the bond between you strengthens. Not just from passion, but from feeling safe. Hold him like you see him, like you believe in him, like there's no other place you'd rather be. Because that kind of touch, intention, heartfelt grounding, it lingers. The route to a man's heart isn't only through meals. It's through the love baked into them. Picture this. It's late. A regular weeknight. Nothing grand. You're both worn out. The day heavy. Yet he walks into the kitchen and sees you preparing his favorite meal. Not the quickest dish, not the easiest, but the one that takes him back to warmth, to feeling cared for, to being understood. He may not say a word, but you'll see it in how he exhales, because for men, food is more than sustenance. It's memory. It's affection. It's silent proof that someone sees even the smallest pieces of him. It's love wrapped in the ordinary. It's care shown when no one else is looking. To what course? Like the deepest truths aren't always spoken aloud, they're felt. Have you ever considered why a man can hear "I love you" 100 times and still feel far away? It's because those words, as beautiful as they sound, aren't always the fire. Sometimes they're just the match. And right now, what we're about to uncover, that's the wildfire. Before we go any further, hit that like button and subscribe. Not for my sake, but because I'm pouring everything I have into this. I'm not reading from a script. I'm speaking from the place inside that understands how profound this really is. Beyond reason, deeper than advice. This is for the part of you that's tired of spiraling thoughts, tired of decoding what he's thinking, and finally ready to be truly seen while becoming unforgettable in his world. That's what we're shaping here, and I want your heart all in. So picture this. You walk into a room. Same outfit, same smile, but something shifted in how you carry yourself. You're not scanning for his attention. You already own the space. You sit next to him. Not as if you're hoping he'll notice you, but as if he can't help but feel your energy, even if he doesn't glance your way. That's no accident. That's presence. Because genuine attraction isn't about being the most eye-catching. It's about stirring something deeper. And that doesn't come from effort. It comes from being the kind of woman who lingers in his thoughts. Somewhere along your journey, you were told a gentle lie, that men crave words, that repeating "I love you" would lock him in loyalty and fasten the emotional doors. But let's make one thing clear. Men don't remain where they're instructed to. They stay where they feel alive, where it sparks, where it's grounded and unfiltered, where it's real. Because men, they don't just listen, they absorb. They recall the way your fingers skimmed his skin like it mattered, the way your laugh lifted the entire room, the way you turned to walk away, not from bitterness, but from a steady confidence in your value. That kind of woman doesn't try to be unforgettable, she simply is. And don't mistake this for acting. This isn't about trying to win him over. It's about revealing the version of you who moves with emotional precision. The woman who understands that silence often shouts louder than declarations. The woman whose very presence whispers more than any sentence can. This isn't a checklist, this is transformation. 12 ways to make a man feel deeply loved. Not with surface level affirmations, but with a presence that stirs his soul. So profoundly that "I love you" becomes a whisper, compared to the way you remain in him. This is for the women who already know their worth, but are ready to become unforgettable. We're breaking every outdated rule that told you to tone it down, Every quiet warning that said not to be too intense, because when your intensity is rooted in truth, that's what becomes magnetic. You're not here to be appropriate. You're here to be indelible. Take in every sentence, every pause. This isn't filler. This is the work that shifts everything. Relationship truths drenched in power. And when you're done here, I don't want you to just grasp your strength. I want you to embody it. If you're with me, say this aloud. Write it in the comments. Let it settle into your bones. I am the gravity. That's right. Not the pull, not the lure. Gravity. Now stay with me. We're just getting started. Imagine this. You're at your favorite little dinner spot. Low lighting, soft background music, a place that always feels wrapped in warmth. He's sitting across from you, hair tousled, shirt slightly wrinkled, looking like a moment you don't want to blink away. He's sharing a story, something that means something to him. Your phone buzzes. You glance down. Just a second, it's nothing pressing. You look back up. He's still talking, but something's different. The softness in his eyes has faded just slightly, and in your chest, you feel it. The moment slipped. I get it. Life's constant. Work, texts, responsibilities, distractions. You weren't trying to disconnect. You weren't being careless. But in that flicker of attention, something shifted. He felt it. He won't necessarily mention it, but he'll retreat a little. That's the hidden truth. Men won't always ask you to be present. They won't demand. They'll just start withholding the parts they once eagerly shared. Because love isn't built on grand gestures. It's formed in those hushed in-between moments. Real presence. That's love in action. It's not about staring at him like he's a scene in a movie. It's about making him feel like he's the only thing that exists, even when the room is full. Maybe you're wondering, what if he doesn't even notice when I'm present? What if I give him my attention and he's still buried in his phone? Listen to me. When a woman leads with presence, the entire air shifts. She becomes the moment. You don't have to chase his gaze. You become the reason he looks up. Because presence isn't a gift you hand out. It becomes your essence. And that presence, it's magnetic. Not because it's loud, not because it's trying, but because it's real. Let me share this. He might forget the message you sent that read, I love you. But he'll never forget the way your eyes locked with his like nothing else existed. That's what lingers. So when you're with him, leave your mental checklist behind. Don't half watch a reel while he talks. Be there with a stillness that says, I'm here, and a not elsewhere in thought. That's rare. That's impactful. Sit with him like your spirit is paying attention. In a world full of scatter, a woman who's fully grounded becomes extraordinary. The kind of energy that invites a man to open wider, to stay longer, to reveal more. And as we move into touch, this isn't just about hands. It's a message, a vow, a memory without words. So before we continue, write it below. Speak it out loud. I am the presence. Now visualize this. He comes home after a draining day, shoulders slouched, mind heavy, burdened with silent weight. You walk over, smiling softly, and hold him. Not a casual hug, not one where your thoughts are elsewhere. A full embrace, arms wrapped, breath synced, hearts aligned. For 7 seconds, neither of you speaks, but everything is understood. His body starts to let go, chest loosens. And in that quiet, he feels every unspoken word. I see you. You matter. We're still us. Touch isn't just skin. It's memory. Men won't always articulate their needs, but their hearts will remember the texture of your care, the steady rhythm of your heartbeat against his. Real touch, the kind that doesn't rush, says what voices can't. I still choose you. You felt the difference. A rushed kiss is routine, but a slow, lingering touch, that shifts something in him. It marks him. It whispers. It resonates. Rushed touch is noise. Present touch is melody. So next time, don't just pass by him. Wrap him in something he can't explain, but never forgets. Let him soften in your arms. That's when his breath deepens. That's when his walls fall. That's when the bond deepens. Not from lust, but from feeling safe. Hold him like you believe in his strength, like you choose this moment fully. Because that touch, it echoes. The path to a man's heart isn't only through meals, it's through the intention behind them. Picture this. It's late, not a special occasion, just an ordinary Tuesday. You both worn down. The world outside has been relentless. But he walks into the kitchen and finds you there, cooking his favorite dish. Not the easy option, not the fastest, but the one that speaks to his soul, the one that reminds him of warmth, of being seen, of mattering. And he won't always say it, but you'll see it. In the way his shoulders drop, in the way he lingers. Because for a man, food isn't just taste. It's nostalgia. It's affection. It's you saying, I noticed. I remembered. I care. Even when no one else is looking. The deepest truths aren't always spoken aloud. They're felt. Have you ever considered why a man can hear I love you 100 times and still feel far away? It's because those words, as beautiful as they sound, aren't always the fire. Sometimes they're just the match. And right now, what we're about to uncover, that's the wildfire. Before we go any further, hit that like button and subscribe, not for my sake, but because I'm pouring everything I have into this. I'm not reading from a script. I'm speaking from the place inside that understands how profound this really is. Beyond reason, deeper than advice. This is for the part of you that's tired of spiraling thoughts. Tired of decoding what he's thinking and finally ready to be truly seen while becoming unforgettable in his world. That's what we're shaping here. And I want your heart all in. So picture this, you walk into a room, same outfit, same smile, but something shifted in how you carry yourself. You're not scanning for his attention, you already own the space. You sit next to him, not as if you're hoping he'll notice you, but as if he can't help but feel your energy, even if he doesn't glance your way. That's no accident, that's presence. Because genuine attraction isn't about being the most eye-catching. It's about stirring something deeper. And that doesn't come from effort. It comes from being the kind of woman who lingers in his thoughts. Somewhere along your journey, you were told a gentle lie, that men crave words, that repeating I love you would lock him in loyalty and fasten the emotional doors. But let's make one thing clear. Men don't remain where they're instructed to. They stay where they feel alive, where it sparks, where it's grounded and unfiltered, where it's real.